What's up, my lovelies? Welcome to episode 2, okay, of the madness. Okay, I'm looking at my notes, y'all. I'm looking at my notes, all right? Okay, so back at the motel Holiday Inn with the family, Muncie is, he went back into the room and he reveals that, he has the dead guy's watch. And so his wife, Elena, is like, you need to get rid of that. And his son is like, no, 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 no. That's how they get you. That's how they get you. But Muncie doesn't feel great about his family being in the motel Holiday Inn now because I guess he feels as though it's unsafe because he saw a dude when he was down there trying to get some breakfast, and obviously they know where he is. So he suggested to Elena that she go stay with her sister. So fast forward to when they're about to leave, Muncie, he leans in to Elena and he says, I'm glad we're not divorced yet. And she looked at him like, boy, if you don't get, you know what I'm saying? You can tell there's a lot of hurt there that hasn't been resolved yet. So Quasi calls Muncie and says he's going to talk to the partners because he doesn't like where this is going, because Quasi and Muncie obviously are friends, okay? And Quasi, works for this big law firm, and he's trying to help his friend. Well, after the conversation that he had with the friends, they started treating Muncie like R. Kelly. And Quasi was just like, dang, So, next they show Muncie at the law firm, and he's sort of pacing around, in the conference room, and should have known something once the secretary came in there, and she was like, do you need anything? And he was just like, how much longer, because he's waiting on Quasi, so, she was just like, well, let me know if you need anything, okay? So, when somebody say something like that, there's something going on, all right? There's something seriously the matter. But all of a sudden, two guys come in, and one of them you can tell that Muncie was very familiar with. And he came in, and, they gave each other the whole power, shake the hand thing. And then the other guy's just like the representative. Okay. And so they sat down at the table and everything. And real quick, dude was like, yeah, dude, we're not taking your case. And it makes you wonder, it's like, well, why are you not taking the case? Because, he gave the excuse, well, we're not dealing with murder, cases, we're not dealing with that right now. So then, Muncie's like, what do you mean? And basically what dude said was, we can't take this because it's going to cause too much of a problem for the firm. Okay, it's way too political. We're gonna piss too many people off in the wrong places, and yeah, we can't take this case. So the next scene you see Muncie, I guess going around the corner, down the block, around the hall, somewhere to this restaurant where he meets up with Quasi, and Quasi's sitting there, drinking some tea, and He said you should put some honey in there. Muncie comes in, he sits down next to Quasi. He said you should put some honey in there tea. He said I don't like honey. But you could tell that, Quasi, he feels like, this is a trip, and they start to talk and everything. And Muncie basically tells him like, dude, they starting to treat you like our day, so when I came in this morning, they was treating you like you are Kelly. Okay. And I'm like, oh, dang, and then they threatened me with a breach of contract or termination if I touch it or if I even bother to help you. Okay. So, man to man, friend to friend, dude, I can't do nothing with this. And so then, Muncie sort of leans over and shows him the watch. He's like, well, what you doing with that? What you doing with that? You should take it to the cops, And he said, well, you gonna come with me? I'm not going with you. I'm not going with you to the cops with a dead man's watch, pretty much. That guy calls a mess. And so then he said, what you need to do is lay low, or just, just leave the country, go to somewhere like Djibouti or something, I don't know. I'm like, of all places, Djibouti. He said somewhere where there's no extradition. Okay. And so Muncie leaves the restaurant because, basically Quasi said, hey man, I can't help you right now. I can't help you. I'm not in a place to help you. So, Muncie leaves the restaurant and he notices some dude in this brown jacket. It looked like he looks suspicious. Like it looked like he's following him on the other side of the street over there. He's looking and he's walking, looking. In the meantime, he gets a call from Elena, his wife. And she's like, hey, we just received some crazy text messages and things like that. And so you need to go see about Callie. And I'm sitting up there. Who's Callie? We don't know Callie. Who's Callie? And so this is where we discover that Muncie also has a daughter. So he has a son and a daughter. Okay. But they're by two different women. Okay. So he, abruptly, ends the call with Elena because he was trying to check out the guy across the street, but of course she doesn't see that because she's on the phone. Okay. But you can tell that, she's been cut off before, she's got that, she's just like, oh, you're just going to rush me off the phone and, do this like we used to do, whatever, So anyway, he hangs up with her and he follows this guy in his brown jacket and he follows him through this like courtway or whatever. And then he disappears in a Narnia. Okay. Dude was nowhere to be found. So Muncie gets over to Callie's house, his daughter, and, she's hanging out with some friends, mostly guys in her kitchen. And he's like, can I speak to you? Can I have a moment with you? And you can tell she's like a little militant, and everything like that. But you can tell also, I believe my review of it is that she loves her dad. She knows he's her dad, but like she doesn't feel validated that, she just doesn't feel like she's part of his everyday life or whatever. They have their issues. Okay. And she had said something like, your name not even on my birth certificate. So, and then she had said something like, when he was there, she said, yeah, well, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, something like that, and he was basically just saying, hey, I'm mixed up in some stuff. You might want to keep a good, eye out, watch your back, And he tells her what it's about. It's a murder case. They're trying to pin on me. And, she's just like, oh man, she gets real serious then. And she's like you could tell like, okay, she cares, after Muncie leaves Callie's house, he's walking back to his car and he gets a call from Sally, the Simon woman, not Sally, the Simon woman. Okay. And, she wants him to come over. She says she has some evidence or some information just to get him over there. He gets over there and then, she's like, well, I don't want to talk outside my house. So, come on in to the garage, And so then she shuts the garage and everything for privacy. And she pulls a dang on gun on him. And he like, hold on, wait a minute. What's going on here? What's going on here? And I'm just like, and it took a long time for her to put that gun down. She wasn't putting that gun down no time soon. Okay. And so he was just like, hey, I got kids too now, now I told you, and, he kept on trying to explain himself until he let it slip that, her husband is dead. When he did see him, he was dead. Okay. And she was like, what? She was like, wait a minute, where did that come from? Honey, she locked that gun up in that little lockbox and walked her behind right on up into her house. So, leaving Muncie to let himself up out that garage, okay? She's like, She was just like dumbfounded, So in the next scene you see Muncie meeting up with Franco, the FBI guy, with the stick up his butt. And he also was there with the guy that was in the at the Days Inn. And the one that sped off in the car at the Hotel Motel Holiday Inn. Yeah. So Muncie finds out that that guy is working with Franco. All right. And he meets up with Franco and Franco shows him some pictures of the dead guy, the one that was found in the swamp. Okay. And so, Muncie's like, hey man, that was self-defense, And so then, Franco was like, that don't look like self-defense to me, And it seems as though, Franco is trying to solve a case. Okay. And he feels as though Muncie can help him. Okay. And the more information he gets from Muncie, the better for his case. However, he feels as though Muncie's holding back in some kind of way. So anyway, Franco shows Muncie the picture and, all of a sudden you look there and it's like several wounds. It's like over 20 something wounds on the body. And, Muncie's like, hey, I didn't do that. I just stabbed dude with pen in the throat. Okay, I knew you were dead, but I stabbed him in the pen with a pin in the throat. That's all I did. Okay, and then I left him in the water, so he drowned. Okay, but that's all I know. You know, so someone's trying to set him up again. They're trying to make it look real intentional that he killed this guy. So Muncie shows Franco the watch, and Franco is just not impressed. Okay, he's like, you have to do more than that. That doesn't impress me. That, you know, that leads me nowhere. Okay, basically, I want you to ID the killer. All right, and Muncie asks, well, you know what? Can I get a copy of that picture? And he was like, here, you can have it. You know, I got plenty of copies where that came from. And he told Muncie, hey, I need more information. You know, if you expect for me, in order for me to protect you, I need you to do your part, basically, you know, and I need to know that you're telling the truth so that I can protect you. And Muncie goes off to his car, and he does that recognition thing, you know, that usually they use it for faces, like a face or item recognition. And he does that on the dead guy's seal. He had a seal on his chest. Okay, and he's like, I know this seal is from something. So he tossed the watch. He tossed the watch in some fire, a little bonfire that was going on. He was like, well, this is not getting me nowhere, so let me just go ahead and toss this watch, you know. So he did that. He looked up the seal, like I said, and he found out from one of Elena's friends, I guess that she works with at the college, at the university, that the dead guy, his name is Ant, by the way, A-N-T, Ant, I guess. But anyway, he belongs to this group called Profane Discord, and they're like vigilantes, like with Uzis or something. Not so much vigilantes, I think that's the wrong word for it, but they crazy people, supremacists, white supremacists with Uzis. Okay, basically, you know, they don't like a whole lot of people. And he had mentioned something about the Forge, where you think that the Forge doesn't like them, and she was just like, yeah, they probably don't like them either because they crazy, you know. So Muncie, when he comes out from seeing Elena's friend at the university, you know, he's going back to his car. You know, he's going back to his car, and it's a woman, white, standing in front of his car door. You know, his passenger door. I mean, not his passenger door, his driver's side door. And you know, he walks up to her, excuse me, you know, can I? This is my car. I need to get to it. And then all of a sudden, she says something like, just trying to live your life, you know. And then she looks up at him, and he's like, what the heck? That was so funny. Anyway, and so the lady, you know, she's standing there. So the lady's basically edging him on. She wanted him to do something like, go ahead, move me. So she was like, oh, you want to get into your car? Okay, come on, move me, you know, touch me, you know. So then, you know, he goes about his business. He was just like, well, I'm trying to get in my car. You know what I'm saying? He has things to do. So, you know, he goes to try to pull the handle of his car, and she's like, oh, you touch me, you know, you touch me. And in the meantime, the guy that was in that brown jacket that was surveying him, he's behind them, and he's got camera out, like, you know, taking video. And so, you know, Muncie looks back like, what in the world is going on? And so then the lady said, do it again. You know, so then she shows in her purse that she's got her finger on the trigger pistol, okay? She's ready to blow him away, okay? If she had to. And to me, it just don't make no sense. But she said, you know, you could tell, she mentioned something about she's with Brother 14, you know, so she's with the group or whatever, you know, of course, you know. But it's just, it's sad that, you know, it had to get to that point, you know, where, you know, you just want to threaten people. So then Muncie was like, okay, two could play this game. He put up, I'm sorry, you guys, he put up his phone and he started filming them. And all of a sudden she put her gun away, and dude jumped up in the car and they scrambled. Okay. So in the meantime, he meets up with, Muncie meets up with Quasi. And Quasi's just like, man, I'm really getting more concerned because those the Pocono Police Department wants to meet Muncie in person. You know, because they got a body. And, you know, and Muncie was like, man, that was self-defense, like I said, you know, and Muncie's like, I'm not going in, you know. And so Quasi reveals that Muncie's dad was an activist at one time or something, like 30 some years ago. And he ended up snapping at one time or another. And he doesn't want Monty to go down that same road. So, he said, listen, as your friend, he said, if I can't do nothing else for you, who you need to call is that Simon woman and find out some more information. Okay? That's what you need to be doing. And Quasi told him, just don't go back in the garage with her. Muncie goes back to see, the Simon lady. You can tell when he pulls up that she has been, a target with the graffiti that was written on her garage. I think it said like race traitor, disloyal cunt. You know what I'm saying? So they were just really trying to tear her down. And the fact that she lives with, her two children, her two boys live with her. It was just a disgrace. And so, basically, I guess it was her sister or something, because they look alike. But anyway, her sister was sweeping up, like a broken window or something. It was some glass or something. And so Muncie said, well, he convinced the sister to have her meet him down at the park that was down the street. And so she came, and when Muncie spoke with her, he was just like, hey, she reveals that she left the movement and she left her husband, and they have hated her ever since. Okay. And so she only wants her sons to be safe. And Muncie's noticed the tattoo on the back of her neck, and she said that she did it herself with an X-Acto knife. Okay. Are we just crazy? Okay. Nothing is worth all of this. So he told her she's not safe either. And if she finds info, that she should, share it with him, because, like, as much as she wants to keep her son safe, she's not safe either. So Muncie leaves there, and he gets a phone call in the car, and it's his daughter Callie, and he was just like, was Callie calling me, and she said she wanted to see him. So, and he said, well, he was on his way to go get a sandwich for Demetrius, his son, and she said, no, I got a better place, so meet me, blah blah blah. And so he meets up with her, and they have some conversation. She apologizes for being mean and rude for, when he came by previously, and that if he needed any heat, to let her know, because like I told you, Callie militant, okay? Callie militant, okay? And so and you could tell that he was appreciative of that. He enjoyed their conversation and everything, and maybe they can get a relationship out of this. Maybe they can get some kind of understandable relationship as father and daughter out of this, because she really does care. So they show Muncie later going to an actual gun shop and getting a gun, okay, because I guess I'm thinking he doesn't want his daughter mixed up in all of this, okay, even though she offered him some some heat. He doesn't want her pulled into it also. All right. Okay. So the last scene is when Muncie, he goes to drop off the sandwich and to sit down and talk with his family, and at his sister-in-law's house. And you could tell that sister-in-law still likes him. She came over, she's like, I'm sorry this is all happening. She gave him a hug and everything. So that was good to see too. And then all of a sudden, you started hearing this music, like boom, 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 like really loud music, and like a horn or something. I don't know, some music outside, okay? And you could tell that they were beckoning on Muncie to come out, because they were playing loud music. These white guys, it was like a whole car full of white guys, young white guys, in front of, across the street from his sister-in-law's house. And so, Muncie goes outside to address them, even though he was like, no, don't go out there. But he just went on out there. And he was like, hey, I need you all to leave, And then he said, and so then, they edged him on, and everything. He said, no, I need you all to leave. And the one guy was like, well, what, leave your sister-in-law's house? Because, we already know this is where your family and them is hanging out. And that pissed Muncie off, okay? That pissed him off. And so, he was like, oh, what, you getting mad and stuff? Is that what happened to you back in the woods when you killed dude, and everything? And Muncie was just so fed up. He went back to his car and he pulled that gun out and he walked back towards them. And he shot up into the air like around 4 times. Like, get your behind out of here, okay? All right. And so, once they heard the gunshots, they jumped in the car and they scrambled, And so, pretty much that's the way that episode ended. Now, I do believe that this was another good episode. I really like, Colman Domingo's acting anyway. I think everyone's doing a really good job with their roles and everything. I just, I wonder in 8 episodes, are you going to be able to really sum all of this up? But you might be, because I just couldn't see it going past 8 episodes either. I don't think. I don't know. I mean, it depends on the writing. Because I would love to see more of it if they had it. But if it ends at the 8 episodes, I'm okay with that too. But anyway, I hope you guys like my review of episode 2 of The Madness. And I will see you guys the next time for episode 3. All right. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment too. Okay. Give me your comments on the episode if you watched it too. I'll talk to you later. Leave this place out.